With the channel and functioning as a Kaleidescape certified authorized dealer, I field a lot of questions. I have a lot of conversations with folks about the Kaleidescape platform, what maybe devices, what kind of Kaleidescape setup would suit people the best. And one of the common conversations that I find myself having quite a bit nowadays is, should I buy Strato Cs or Strato Vs if I have an existing system? Should I be changing out or potentially quote-unquote upgrading my Stratos to Strato Vs? So I've had enough of these conversations. I figured, hey, there's probably a great video topic here. So I want to lay out basically kind of five personas or five like user situations. Let's say a couple for new customers entering the platform and a few for existing customers, and just give my thoughts on the C versus V. Why would I choose one versus maybe when would the optimal choice be to choose the other? Of course, these are all just my opinions, and your specific situation and the detailed logistics of it probably play a big influence in this decision as well. Of course, you can always reach out to me, Jeremy at Techthusiasm.net, or go to www.techthusiasm.net. Reach out, let's have a conversation, and we can spec out the best system for you. But let's jump into kind of some general thoughts and guidelines, I would say. Persona number one that I want to describe is a brand new customer, has not yet entered the Kaleidescape ecosystem, and this person is basically looking for the best deal available, right? The cheapest point of entry, the most inexpensive way to enter the Kaleidescape system. That is absolutely 100% going to only be by virtue of the Strato V. I think it's fantastic that we basically have a $4,000 MSRP fully functional entry point into the Kaleidescape ecosystem. Prior to the launch of the Strato V, of course, it cost you much closer to $10,000 to get in terms of list prices. Now we're down to $4,000. So if cost is the driver, you want in, and cost is the main driver. It doesn't matter whether you have a theater, it doesn't matter whether you have a projector, a flat panel display, all of the other kind of pros and cons and logistics and stuff that I'm going to describe play no role whatsoever. Just get yourself a V, get hooked up, get in the ecosystem, get buying some movies, get building your collection, get using the hardware, learning to use it, learning to use the web page, the app, all the different cool pieces of the platform. Get in, have some fun, get familiar with it, and again, do that at the least expensive way to go about entering. No question, no issues, the rest of the logistics don't matter. The V is an awesome product, and again, a fully functional entry point to the Kaleidescape ecosystem for a list price of $4,000. So now, persona number two, let's say that you're a new customer, you're a new entry, looking to be a new entry into the Kaleidescape ecosystem, but you're not just looking to buy a player, you're looking to spend a little bit more. You want to buy a Terra server right off the bat. It is a great way to go. Of course, you'll be able to store a lot more movies. You'll be able to access the awesome Kaleidescape movie wall and all of its capabilities and virtues and whatnot. But you have a choice to make. You're going to buy a Terra. Are you going to buy a Strato C, or are you going to buy a Strato V? And this one really is a bit of a toss-up. This is the one where it really benefits to have a kind of a one-on-one conversation, and let's talk about some things. However, as a baseline, what I will say, if you got a flat panel, of course something on the order of 55, 65, 77, 83, maybe even up to about 98 inches, that flat panel is using Dolby Vision, and you're very keen to be able to use Dolby Vision as an HDR format, well, you're probably looking in this case at the Strato V. Well, the V in Strato V stands for Vision, Dolby Vision specifically. So if you're looking for those features, you're basically choosing the Strato V. And I think it really lends itself towards that type of a setup, that type of an environment. Now, do you have a super large screen, 150 inch, 160 inch, and bigger, projection-based home theater system? Then I think the conversation starts to lend itself to some of the virtues of the Strato C. One of the big elements of that, of course, is that the Strato C renders the UI, the movie wall, all the menus and different things in native 4K. It's always been that way. The Strato V renders the UI basically in a 1080p and then upscales it to 4K. And some of those differences, the quality, the presentation of the interface, it does honestly look better on the C than the V. Now there are improvements coming. We're waiting for KOS 10.20. It's already been kind of pre-announced on the owners forum that there'll be some settings, some improvements, some features to improve the look, the sharpness, the detail of the movie wall and the UIs and whatnot on the Strato V. But no matter what, there's no beating native 4K. In addition, the Strato C is, of course, $1,000 cheaper nowadays. The list price of a Strato C player is $3,000 versus the $4,000 for the V. So if you're buying a server, you have a full on projection-based system, maybe you're better off, or it's cool to you to go ahead and save the $1,000. Now, Kaleidescape often does run movie promo credits in that, where if you bundle players and you bundle servers, you can get some hundreds or several $100s of movie store credit. As I record this, we're in Q4 2024. The promotions bundling Strato players and Terra servers are entirely based on bundling Vs and Terras. So you don't get the movie credits with the Strato C, but if you're buying a smaller server, you're actually going to save more money by virtue of the cheaper list price of the C over the V. You have to debate a little bit as well, of course. The V is the new generation player. What's going to happen with it in the future? I'll come back on this concept, I think, to round out the video at the end. So we also have to weigh elements of what are the potential future opportunities surrounding the V versus the long-standing known, say, stability, pervasive support, the 4K UI, right? All of these stable elements of the C player. So by and large right now, I would have to say, if you're a new customer, you're buying a server, you got a large format projection screen, probably leaning a little more towards the C. If you've got a living room setup, a flat panel type setup, a Dolby Vision style setup, probably leaning a little bit more towards the V. Persona number 3. Now let's move into existing customers. So I'm an existing customer. If I'm a long-standing existing customer, that means, of course, I don't have Vs in my system. I'm probably using Strato Cs. And if I have Strato Cs, of course, I already have Terra servers that would have went with that. And let's say in this Persona number 3 that I have a projection, I have a large format screen system, again, already running a Strato V in there. Should I upgrade? Should I be considering, should I swap out my C for a Strato V? Is there any merit or reason to do that? And at this point in time, again, at the time of recording this, Q4 2024, I would say probably not. Sit tight, be happy. The Strato C is awesome. You'll enjoy that native 4K interface on your screen, and there's really no virtues, there's no merits. There's nothing worth spending the money, making the upgrade, making the swap out to take out Cs for Vs in a home theater environment that doesn't support Dolby Vision, that doesn't need the audio 2-channel downmix capabilities, right, and basically doesn't need the virtues and the new capabilities of the V. Sit tight, wait it out. This may change in the future, but for right now, you're good. I, in fact, did swap out my Strato C for a Strato V, but I had other reasons to do that. I was making content for the channel. I wanted to experience a V in standalone mode, and so I used it in the living room for a little while like that. Now that I've got the V back down in the theater, I can honestly say I would have been fine not doing this. I should have probably just stuck with my Strato C as it was, and again, waited it out to see what new features, capabilities, if something really compelling comes to the V that really is a forcing function to want to do the upgrade, I would have been fine just sitting tight and enjoying my existing Strato C. In Persona number 4, though, let's talk about an existing customer that doesn't have a large format screen, doesn't have a projection-based home theater system. Maybe they're an existing customer, they have a C, they have a Terra, and they have a living room setup. They have a large flat panel. You have a Dolby Vision capable flat panel. Well, maybe, just maybe, if you're really drawn, you're really compelled by the concept of having Dolby Vision, using Dolby Vision as the format, this may be an example of a persona that maybe you want to go ahead and swap it out. Do you have the money just kind of sitting in your pocket to sell your C, likely at something of a bit of a discount on the used Kaleidescape market, and then buy in to the V? I think you really have to like Dolby Vision, or maybe you have a 2-channel setup and you really want lossless audio from all of the different movies, giving you the key capability or the key opportunity to take advantage of the V's ability to downmix the audio to 2-channel PCM. I know in my living room, I would very much want to be running a Strato V in my living room, because my living room doesn't support like DTS audio. But if I ran a V in there with a 2.2 channel system, I would be able to have lossless audio from all the Kaleidescape movies that I would play downmixed and output as 2-channel PCM. I think that's a feature of the V that's kind of understated or maybe doesn't get discussed a lot, but for the people that need it, man, it's huge. I think it's a really great addition to the V. So video formats, audio formats, compatibility to the rest of the system. If you are an existing customer that has a C in a living room flat panel or in that type of home theater environment, maybe, just maybe, you could find some value, you could find some virtue or merit in doing a C for V update. All right, Persona number 5, and I think this is kind of the most interesting one in some regard, and this is also one that I kind of fell into a little bit myself. Let's say that we have an existing customer. That customer has a Strato C, and they have already some Terra server capability. More than likely that Strato C was installed into a projection-based home theater type of setup, and they really like Kaleidescape. They want to start adding some zones. They want to add more zones, add more players to their system. Those other zones, very likely the secondary zone is, I think, going to be like a living room. It's going to be a flat panel type environment. That's the case for me. I run my Kaleidescape in the home theater. Sometimes I would very much like to be able to play my Kaleidescape movies in the living room to that television as well. Of course, if we're adding a player to a television style environment, my mind immediately goes to the V. Use the Dolby Vision. Maybe you need that 2-channel audio, down mix, output, stuff like that. But the thing that I want to caution, and where this one starts to get a little more complex, is if you have an existing Strato C player, you have a whole bunch of content already downloaded to your Terras that are in HDR10 format, and you go and you buy a V for your living room, keep in mind that there are some format logistics to be aware of specifically. And it specifically has to do with what formats do you download to your Terra and what are the players capable of. So a Strato V is capable of playing a Dolby Vision formatted Kaleidescape download in Dolby Vision to a Dolby Vision display. A V is also capable of playing a Dolby Vision format download as HDR10 to an HDR10 display. A Strato C, though, is not actually able to do that. So what does that mean? Well, it means that if you're going to have multi-zonal Kaleidescape system and you want some zones to be Dolby Vision capable, you probably want Vs everywhere, because the last thing that you want to do in the Kaleidescape ecosystem is waste a bunch of space, right? You don't want to have to download a Dolby Vision format of a movie and an HDR10 format of a movie for 2 different zones. That's basically twice the storage capacity for a single film, and let's be honest, of course, right? The cost of storage in the Kaleidescape ecosystem is at a premium. I would certainly not be cutting my storage in half to download and store 2 formats of a single film. I would either make a choice for myself to download everything in HDR10 or make sure to download whatever I can, whatever is available, when available, in Dolby Vision, and maintain one or the other format. Now, if we're going to maintain all of the movies that we download in HDR10, then it really doesn't matter which player we have. If we have this existing customer, this persona, if we already have a C, a Terra, a bunch of HDR10 downloaded content, well, maybe just forgo the Dolby Vision. Maybe you've got a multi-channel setup in your living room anyway. You don't need that 2-channel PCM output. Go ahead and probably just save the money, buy the less expensive player, and put Cs in those other zones and just stick to the C. Again, however, though, if you're going to start looking to add Vs to those other zones and you want to use the Dolby Vision formats, you are going to want to, in my opinion, wipe the HDR10 content off of your Terra, re-download those movies as Dolby Vision, and you will want to replace the Strato C in your theater zone with the Strato V and use the Dolby Vision format HDR10 output capability of that player. I hope that was clear. Again, this is probably the most complex case of the personas, and again, reach out to me. I'm happy to talk, happy to discuss through the logistics of your system and give a very specific recommendation for you. With this video, again, I'm looking to just kind of lay some baselines because, again, these are conversations that I find myself having very often with many folks. So we'll wrap this up with kind of the final caveat, and that's we don't know what the future holds, essentially. We don't know if at some point the Strato C may ride off into the sunset and basically be replaced everywhere in all cases, a single offering with the Strato V. The release of the Strato V did not see to the demise of the Strato C. We did have the price reduction, I think, which is great, but I don't take that as any kind of necessary indication or automatic assumption that the C is on its way out or looking to be discontinued in the short term. The reality is we just don't know. We also don't know what may happen going forward. Could there be software features, KOS updates, capabilities, and new elements, interface elements, control elements, something, right? Features, software-based features that will be released by Kaleidescape that could come only to the Strato V. We haven't seen some things come like CEC control and stuff, which had been acknowledged and discussed on the owners forum. So in these decisions, we almost kind of have to hedge a little bit as well because we don't know what the future holds. And understand that if we go the route of adding more Cs to our systems, at some point in time, there may be some things coming for the V that could be V only. As it is with electronics, audio, video, home theater, computers, anything like that, of course, we have to make our decisions. We have to buy the equipment for what it does today, for what we want it to do today, and be careful how much we think into the future about what a device may or may not do, what may or may not come, right? We can never predict these things, and so you make the best choices that you can with the information that you have available for the capabilities and features and offerings and solutions that devices, software, hardware, and all of that provides to us in the moment right now. Of course, if you want to talk about any of this stuff, kind of puzzle it out together, reach out to me. I am a certified authorized dealer for Kaleidescape, as well as JVC, LG, Sony, whole bunch of other home theater brands. Happy to consult, happy to advise, happy to help you build out an awesome or upgrade to an awesome home theater setup. Of course, if I can't help you, I have business partners that can. Reach out to me, Jeremy at Techthusiasm.net, or go to www.techthusiasm.net. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, hey, become a channel member, leave a PayPal Venmo tip, a super thanks, always much appreciated. Look down in the description for all of my general affiliate links, Amazon, Best Buy, Newegg, Target, Walmart, a whole bunch more. They're all listed down there. Click on those, use them for your shopping. Much appreciated. If you would, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, share the video, leave a comment. Are you debating this question for yourself? Considering entering the Kaleidescape ecosystem? Considering upgrading some of your devices in the Kaleidescape system? Are you thinking about C versus V? Where's your mindset? What are the elements kind of the logistics of what you're looking for? Leave a comment and let's discuss. Thanks so much for watching, and come on back for more home theater discussion and fun.